Everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Manjeet Rawat, your online instructor. In this class, I'm going to help you to understand about how to set up and manage virtual network over Amazon Web Services. As you know that if we talk about the on-premises infrastructure, virtual infrastructure or cloud infrastructure, networking can play the unique role. So in this session, I'll try to give you the complete information about networking, especially I'm talking about the VPC, virtual private cloud. So in case of virtual private cloud, that help us to set up our own network infrastructure, right? So in single word, you can see that if we compare it with on-premises infrastructure, if you want to set up your networking for local hardware devices, so that time you must need to purchase at least one switch. Switch must be connected with router or firewall or modem, and then entire machines or entire computers must be connected to the switch. And switch can perform the task as a mediator, or you can say that switch is a type of centralized network device that help us to provide communication between entire resources like computers, server, databases, or any kind of SAN or NAS storage. If you establish, then switch can help us. As it is over a cloud, if we talk about the other cloud providers like Microsoft Azure. So over Azure, we have an option to set up VNet. So VNet can play a role like as a on-premises switch. As it is over Amazon Web Services, Amazon Web Services can give us option to establish our personal network with the help of virtual private cloud. This is our agenda. I'll try to give you the complete information about the component of our VPC, how to set up, and we'll discuss about the actual usage of VPC. So let's move ourselves to whiteboard or blackboard screen and discuss about the each and every point. But before that, if you're new on my YouTube channel, if you're watching my video first time, so please do subscribe your on Teach Me Cloud YouTube channel, because Teach Me Cloud always try to give you 100% live practical based video. So I'm going to move ourselves to our whiteboard screen, and let's try to understand about the concept of VPC, right? So over a portal, basically over Amazon portal, we have two different types of VPC are available, right? One is default VPC. The meaning of default VPC that AWS can provide by itself. And second, you can create your own VPC, right? We have option to create our own VPC. The gap between default VPC and create your own VPC are default VPC contain the capacity of it always started from 172.16.0.0/16. This is the CIDR value for default VPC. And by using this CIDR value, as per the calculation, we are able to find 65,536 IP address, right? The capacity of /16, if you calculate it from binary to decimal, we will find up to 65,536 IP addresses. Huge amount. But in production environment, company always, even Azure and AWS both recommended that you must need to create your own VPC if you want to set up the infrastructure over a cloud, like you wanted to purchase virtual machines or databases. So always try to put your resources in your own VPC, right? So in case of create your own VPC, you are responsible to decide the range of our IP addresses, the range of our subnets. As we know that we have a multiple private IP addresses, like we can proceed with 192.168.1.0/something and B class 172.16.0.0/something, and you can also create your own network infrastructure by using 10.0.0.something like 25, 24, like 26. It's up to you. Means as per the requirement, you can proceed with any. Now, again, let's try to understand about the concept of VPC, why it is important. So BPC, if we compare our BPC with on-premises, for example, this is AWS portal, right? This is AWS portal. And we have another on-premises setup. We have a on-premises setup. In case of on-premises, if you plan to set up your own network infrastructure, multiple systems are available, right? Server, workstation, multiple computers are available. And you should use at least one switch, and switch contain multiple physical port. So with the help of LAN cable, right? With the help of LAN cable and physical switch, we are able to make a communication. Think about, if we talk about the capacity of our on-premises setup, it's based on the number of physical ports are available, like 8 port switch available. We have a 12 port based switch, 24 ports based switch, and 48 ports based switch. So in on-premises, you can easily recognize like how many machines you are able to connect. As it is over AWS or Azure, whenever we set up our network infrastructure, we don't have any physical infrastructure. So that time you need to create we need to create our own network infrastructure. We need to create our own network infrastructure. Our own network infrastructure in the sense like you need to set up your own VPC. And VPC contain two important points. One is CIDR value, which is considered as a address space, right? For example, the address space that we decided 192.168.1.0/26, and by using the address space of /26, you can create multiple subnets. We have option to create a multiple subnet. Now, question: subnet is also, if you want, you can also divide the subnet in two different parts. Like one is private subnet and another is public subnet. Let's talk about the gap between private and public subnet. So the meaning of private and public subnet, let's try to understand properly. For example, this is our VPC, right? And in VPC, we decided 192.168.1.0/25, just example. And by using the /25, we are able to connect 128 IP addresses as per the address space that you decided /25. The /25 can help us to connect up to 128 devices. So what you need to do, you wanted to divide your 128 IP addresses in two different parts. One is public subnet and another is private subnet. The gap between public and private subnet, you can say that, for example, I'm going to proceed with 192.168.1.0/25 total space. I'm going to proceed with /26. So in case of /26, you are able to find 64 IP addresses. As it is for private subnet, I'm going to provide 192.168.1.64/26 again. I wanted to divide the subnet in two different parts. Divide the CIDR value into two different parts. And in this case, in public subnet, I wanted to establish multiple computers. Like up to 64 machines we are able to connect. 64 virtual machines we are able to connect in our public subnet. As it is, in private subnet, we are also able to establish up to 64 machines. But question, why we need to put some virtual machine in private? Why we need to establish some virtual machines in public? So basically the agenda is, those machines are available in public subnet. You can easily access from on-premises computer, I'm talking about the RDP. I'm talking about the another services that you establish with your virtual machine. You wanted to access through the local computer. So public subnet based virtual machine, you can directly access, but you are unable to access any virtual machines that you establish in private subnet. The private subnet based virtual machines, you can access only and only through the VMs that you connected from public. It means that, for example, 10 virtual machines you establish in public and 10 virtual machines you establish in private subnet. In this case, the 10 VMs allow you to access RDP, and these 10 VMs unable to connect through RDP. Unable to connect using RDP. This is the actual gap. But yes, we are able to access through the computer which are available in our public subnet. This is the actual difference between public and private subnet. Both options are available in our CIDN. Let's talk about the components, which is really important because every organizer, every interviewer, not organizer, every interviewer will ask you question related to the gap between public and private subnet, and maybe they will also ask you the component of VPC. So I'm going to help you to understand about components of AWS VPC. Fine. Now let's try to understand about the actual components. So I'm going to start VPC. Yes, it's a type of component. Subnet, another component. Number third, security group. Number 4, internet gateway. Number 5, route table. Number 6, okay, the another component, VPC pairing. Number 7, ACL, access control list. Okay, and these all are common components. You can say that these all are the common components that help us to establish our private network over our personal network over Amazon Web Services. Everyone, I hope all of you understand about the concept of VPC. See, you know that n number of videos are available based on practical, but at least you should know about how many. You should know about the concept of our virtual network infrastructure. So I'll try to give you the practical information as well. We'll definitely share the videos related to the practical, means the implementation process. So for now, I hope all of you understand. Thank you so much. Please do subscribe here on Teach Me Cloud YouTube channel. We'll connect soon with practical. Take care. Bye bye.